amazing mother. I love her more than anything, but there's something, she's so special.
Diana Ross's career was undeniably magnificent, marked by staggering achievements that defy comprehension. According to the Detroit Historical Society, she has sold over 100 million records, produced 57 albums, and amassed a plethora of #1 hits and accolades. With those achievements, while her son expressed immense pride in his extraordinary mother, he also unveiled lesser-known facets of her life that evoke profound sadness. Prepare yourself to hear the startling revelations from Diana Ross's son about her hidden struggles. In a poignant sharing, Diana Ross's son began the story of his mother's life from her unhappy childhood. He eloquently recounts the dichotomy of her childhood, a blend of joyous innocence and haunting tragedy. The streets of Detroit were her playground, where she frolicked with her siblings and neighborhood friends under the warmth of the sun. Yet, amidst the laughter and games, there lurked shadows of sorrow waiting to cast their pall over the young lives. One fateful night, etched into Ross's memory as a wailing night, shattered the tranquility of her idyllic existence. The air was heavy with despair as she witnessed a grieving mother, her anguished cries piercing the stillness of the night. The unfathomable tragedy unfolded as Ross learned of the heartbreaking loss. Her childhood friends, innocently playing, met a tragic end trapped within the confines of an abandoned refrigerator. Ross's tender heart, still in the tender stages of its own journey, grappled with the enormity of death's cruelty. She lay awake, enveloped in the darkness, haunted by questions that echoed in the recesses of her mind. How long did they suffer? Did they cry out for help? Did their pain know any bounds? These haunting thoughts etched themselves into the fabric of her being, leaving an indelible mark on her soul. Diana's son also opened up when talking about his mother's famous relationship. Her journey to stardom unfolded against the backdrop of Motown's bustling corridors and the guiding hand of Berry Gordy, the visionary architect behind the iconic label. For Ross, success arrived on the cusp of youth, a whirlwind propelled by talent and determination. It was a fortuitous encounter during her school years that first brought Ross into the orbit of Berry Gordy, the maestro of Motown. In 1960, a pivotal moment crystallized as Gordy set his sights on molding a group of young talents into a force to be reckoned with. The group, initially dubbed the Primettes, caught Gordy's discerning eye. However, Gordy, ever the astute strategist, insisted on a transformation, bestowing upon them the moniker the Supremes. Despite initial reservations, particularly from Florence Ballard, the name change heralded the dawn of a new era. As the years unfolded, Ross and Gordy's relationship transcended the confines of mere collaboration, evolving into a profound bond that intertwined their personal and professional lives. The metamorphosis culminated in Ross's ascendancy to the forefront as Diana Ross, the radiant star of Motown. Gordy's admiration for Ross radiated through his words, describing their partnership as akin to heaven, a testament to her luminous presence and unparalleled talent. Yet, beneath the veneer of glamour and success, lay a poignant revelation that would reverberate through the corridors of their intertwined lives. Ross's daughter, Rhonda Ross, carried within her a truth veiled in secrecy, a truth that would redefine the contours of her identity. At the tender age of 13, Ross disclosed to Rhonda the intricacies of her lineage, unraveling the narrative of her parentage. The revelation cast a bittersweet hue over the tapestry of their shared history, illuminating the complexities of love and loyalty. Ross's profound connection with Gordy, woven through the strands of creativity and companionship, navigated the tumultuous currents of romantic entanglement. Yet in a decisive moment of clarity, they chose to prioritize their respective paths, relinquishing the ties that bound them romantically in deference to Ross's soaring aspirations. At the pinnacle of their fame, amidst the fervent cheers of audiences and the glittering allure of the spotlight, Ross found herself ensconced in a whirlwind of both gratitude and adversity. While the world marveled at their meteoric rise, Ross remained acutely aware of the ephemeral nature of fame, cherishing every moment with an acute sense of gratitude. She recognized the rarity of their achievement, acknowledging the privilege of pursuing her passion on a grand stage. Yet, beneath the veneer of glamour lay the stark reality of the toll exacted by relentless schedules and the relentless demands of the industry. Ross laid bare the harrowing truth of her ordeal. A relentless cycle of sleepless nights, ceaseless travel, and relentless performances that exacted a heavy toll on both body and soul. The stress of constant motion and unyielding expectations bore down upon Ross with suffocating intensity, manifesting in a physical and emotional unraveling. In the throes of exhaustion and anguish, even the simple act of nourishment became a Herculean task. Ross's once vibrant spirit withered under the weight of her suffering, her body betraying the toll exacted by her relentless pursuit of perfection. Diana's son also gave a harsh view of his mother's band. The trajectory of the Supremes, though meteoric, was fraught with the tumultuous ebbs and flows of the music industry. In just 9 short years, the trio packed a lifetime of achievements into the annals of music history, their legacy indelibly etched upon the fabric of time. The first tremors of change reverberated through the group in 1967, as Florence Ballard's battle with alcohol addiction cast a shadow over their collective harmony. The weight of her struggles proved too burdensome for both her bandmates and the ever-watchful eye of Berry Gordy, precipitating her departure from the group. In her stead, Cindy Birdsong stepped into the fray, a new voice amidst the familiar cadence of the Supremes' melodies. Yet, the winds of change continued to gust with unrestrained force, sweeping Diana Ross into the vortex of transformation. As the group grappled with the fallout of Ballard's departure, Ross, emboldened by her own aspirations, set her sights on a new horizon, the beckoning allure of a solo career. The fissures that had begun to fracture the group's unity widened with each passing day, as Ross's decision to pursue her own path sowed seeds of discord amongst the trio. Mary Wilson, the steadfast anchor amidst the tempest of change, recounted the unraveling of their once unbreakable bond with a heavy heart. For Wilson, the departure of Ballard marked the beginning of the end, a seismic shift that heralded the dissolution of the Supremes' storied legacy. As Ross embarked on her solo odyssey, the group's collective spirit fractured, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. Mary Wilson's memoir, Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme, offered a candid and unflinching glimpse into the inner workings of the Supremes, pulling back the curtain on the dynamics that shaped their rise to fame and eventual dissolution. In its pages, Wilson spared no detail, shedding light on the complexities of their relationships and the simmering tensions that simmered beneath the surface. With fearless honesty, Wilson laid bare the cutthroat ambition that propelled Diana Ross toward the pinnacle of success. In her recounting, Ross emerged as a formidable force, driven by an insatiable hunger for the spotlight. Wilson's words painted a portrait of a woman consumed by her quest for fame, willing to bulldoze anyone who stood in the path of her ascendance to the center stage. Ross's relentless pursuit of attention, Wilson asserted, often left casualties in its wake as she navigated the treacherous terrain of the entertainment industry with ruthless determination. The fallout from Ross's singular focus reverberated through the corridors of time, casting a shadow over the possibility of a reunion for the Supremes. Despite their storied history and the indelible bond forged through years of shared triumphs and tribulations, attempts at reconciliation faltered in the face of lingering animosities. Wilson's recollections laid bare the extent of the rift that had cleaved the once unbreakable sisterhood apart, leaving behind a legacy tinged with regret and resentment. According to her son, With a heart attuned to the struggles of the marginalized, Ross navigates the corridors of power with a steadfast determination to uplift those whose voices have been silenced by the cacophony of oppression. Ross's commitment to diversity and inclusivity serves as a guiding light in her professional endeavors, as she consciously seeks to amplify the voices of minorities and women within the entertainment industry. Through her deliberate hiring practices, she endeavors to create pathways of opportunity for those whose talents have too long been overlooked and undervalued. In her actions, Ross epitomizes the transformative power of empathy and compassion, leveraging her platform to effect meaningful change in a world rife with inequality. The assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. stands as a watershed moment in Ross's life, a seismic event that shattered the fragile illusion of progress and laid bare the stark realities of racial injustice. As she grappled with the enormity of King's death, Ross found herself engulfed in a maelstrom of grief and despair, as the reverberations of his loss echoed through the corridors of her soul. In the aftermath of King's assassination, Ross confronted the depths of her own despair, wrestling with feelings of hopelessness and disillusionment. The world, once vibrant with the promise of change, seemed to teeter on the brink of collapse as the specter of violence and hatred cast a shadow over the aspirations of a generation. For Ross, the loss of King represented not only the death of a visionary leader, but also the death of a dream of a world united in justice and equality. In the wake of King's murder, Ross's soulful rendition of her song on The Tonight Show served as a poignant tribute to the fallen leader, imbuing his words with a newfound resonance that echoed across the airwaves. With profound empathy and unwavering resolve, Ross lent her voice to the chorus of mourning that swept across the nation, channeling her grief into a powerful act of solidarity and remembrance. By weaving King's immortal words into her performance, she honored his memory in a manner that transcended mere homage, embodying the spirit of resilience and defiance that defined his legacy. Ross's commitment to the cause of civil rights extended far beyond the confines of the stage, as she emerged as a leading advocate for justice and equality. Her instrumental role in organizing the 1981 tribute concert at the National Mall underscored her unwavering dedication to preserving King's legacy, transforming the hallowed grounds into a vibrant tapestry of remembrance and celebration. Yet, amidst the grandeur of these monumental gestures, Ross remained attuned to the deeply personal toll exacted by King's death. Her heart ached in solidarity with Coretta Scott King and Jackie Kennedy, kindred spirits bound together by the shared weight of grief and loss. Through her eyes, she bore witness to the profound sacrifices made in the name of freedom and equality. Each tear shed a testament to the enduring struggle for justice that reverberated through the corridors of history. Diana Ross's son once remembered that she once unveiled the silent struggles that lay hidden beneath the surface, a testament to the indomitable spirit that propelled her forward in the face of adversity. In the quiet moments of reflection, Ross grapples with the weight of her mother's legacy, confronting the bittersweet truth of her passing with a mixture of sorrow and reverence. The circumstances surrounding her mother's death cast a long shadow over Ross's recollections, haunting the recesses of her consciousness with their stark brutality. Diagnosed with breast cancer just 2 short years prior, her mother's descent into the abyss of illness was swift and merciless, leaving behind a trail of shattered hopes and unspoken farewells. For Ross, the pain of her mother's passing was compounded by the relentless demands of her own career, a relentless whirlwind of performances and obligations that left little room for solace or introspection. Even as she traversed the hallowed halls of Radio City Music Hall, her heart remained tethered to her mother's bedside, a silent witness to the ebbing tide of life slipping away. In the wake of her mother's death, Ross grappled with a profound sense of regret, a gnawing ache that lingered in the depths of her soul. Her decision to soldier on with her performances, instead of canceling them to be by her mother's side, haunted her with its relentless insistence on duty over devotion. Yet amidst the anguish of hindsight, Ross found solace in the knowledge that love knows no bounds, that even in her absence, her mother's spirit would forever reside in the chambers of her heart. The bond shared between Diana Ross and Michael Jackson transcends the confines of mere friendship, according to her son. Theirs was a partnership forged in the crucible of creativity, a testament to the enduring power of kindred spirits united by a shared passion for their craft. From the glittering lights of Hollywood to the hallowed halls of the recording studio, Ross and Jackson stood shoulder to shoulder, their voices merging in harmony to create magic that captivated audiences around the world. Their collaborations, marked by a synergy that defied explanation, yielded a treasure trove of timeless classics that continue to resonate with listeners to this day. Their crowning achievement came in the form of The Wiz, a cinematic masterpiece that brought the beloved story of the Wizard of Oz to life in dazzling Technicolor. As they danced across the screen, their chemistry ignited sparks of brilliance that illuminated the silver screen, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of viewers everywhere. Yet, it was their deep bond off-stage that truly defined their relationship, a bond rooted in mutual admiration and respect, tempered by the shared joys and sorrows of life in the spotlight. When tragedy struck with the untimely passing of Jackson, Ross found herself thrust into the role of a reluctant guardian, as his will revealed his wishes for the care of his children. In a heartbreaking twist of fate, Ross was named as the designated guardian for Jackson's children in the event that his mother, Catherine, could not fulfill her duties. For Ross, the revelation came as a shock. Yet, faced with the weight of this responsibility, Ross found herself grappling with the painful reality of having to decline. While Diana Ross and Jackson's connection had once been described by Jackson himself as akin to that of a mother, love, and sister all rolled into one, the passage of time had seen their paths diverge, leaving behind the echoes of a bond that had once defined their lives. As news of Jackson's death reverberated through the corridors of Hollywood, the spotlight turned to Ross as speculation swirled regarding her potential role as guardian to his children. Yet, amidst the chaos and confusion, Ross remained steadfast in her resolve to protect the privacy of those involved, issuing a statement through her attorney that underscored her unwavering commitment to discretion. In the statement, Ross expressed her belief that the custody of Jackson's children was a private matter, one that should be shielded from the prying eyes of the public. With a heavy heart, she acknowledged that assuming custody was simply not a feasible option, recognizing the complexities and implications of such a monumental decision. For Ross, the well-being of Jackson's children remained paramount, a sacred trust that demanded the utmost discretion and respect. As she navigated the treacherous waters of grief and loss, she remained steadfast in her commitment to honoring Jackson's memory and legacy, even as she grappled with the weight of her own sorrow. In the aftermath of Jackson's passing, Ross retreated from the glare of the spotlight, seeking solace in the quiet embrace of her loved ones. Though their paths had diverged in the years leading up to his death, the bond shared between Ross and Jackson remained unbreakable, a testament to the enduring power of love and friendship in the face of life's greatest challenges. As a single mother, navigating the complexities of parenthood alone, Ross found herself shouldering the weight of responsibility with stoic resolve. With no partner to share the burdens of childcare or to lean on in times of need, every decision and every sacrifice fell squarely upon her shoulders. The relentless demands of her career only served to exacerbate the isolation, leaving her adrift in a sea of solitude that stretched out before her like an endless expanse of emptiness. For Ross, the solitude of single motherhood became a double-edged sword, a source of strength and resilience, yet also a wellspring of longing and yearning for companionship. The silence that enveloped her in the quiet hours of the night echoed with the ghostly whispers of unspoken dreams and unfulfilled desires, a haunting reminder of the love and connection that had eluded her grasp. While she treasures the moments of solitude that punctuate her hectic existence, a pervasive sense of guilt casts a shadow over her moments of respite, leaving her adrift in a sea of conflicting emotions. The relentless demands of her career, with its endless weeks and months of travel, weigh heavily on Ross's heart, pulling her away from the warmth of her family and the comfort of her home. As she traverses the globe in pursuit of her dreams, the specter of guilt looms large, haunting her with its whispered accusations of neglect and inadequacy. In the quiet hours of the night, as she lies alone in her hotel room, Ross's thoughts turn to her husband and children, their faces etched in her mind's eye like flickering shadows in the darkness. With each passing day, the distance between them grows, stretching the bonds of love and longing to their breaking point. Yet, amidst the tumult of her emotions, Ross finds solace in the knowledge that her love knows no bounds, that even in her absence, she remains a steadfast presence in the lives of her loved ones. Through the magic of modern technology, she bridges the divide with her voice, speaking words of love and reassurance into the void, hoping to convey her unwavering devotion across the miles that separate them. At the end of the day, Ross recognizes that her feelings of guilt are but fleeting shadows that dissipate with the dawn of a new day. With careful introspection and self-awareness, she navigates the turbulent waters of her emotions, refusing to be consumed by the darkness that threatens to engulf her. Diana Ross's son said his mother once lovingly recounts the cherished memories of her beloved brother, Arthur, affectionately known as T-Boy in their tight-knit family circle. As she traces the contours of their shared childhood, Ross paints a portrait of a brother whose diminutive stature belied a spirit of boundless courage and resilience. Yet, amidst the warmth of nostalgia, tragedy lurks in the shadows, casting a pall over the Ross family's idyllic tableau. In 1996, the unthinkable occurred, shattering the fragile peace of their suburban haven and plunging them into the depths of despair. The lifeless bodies of Arthur and his wife, Patricia Ann Robinson Ross, were discovered in the cold embrace of a basement in the Detroit suburb of Oak Park, a grim tableau of violence and loss that defied comprehension. According to harrowing accounts from the Tampa Bay Times and the Associated Press, both Arthur and Patricia had been bound and suffocated with plastic bags, their voices silenced by the cruel hand of fate. By the time their bodies were discovered, shrouded in the darkness of their makeshift tomb, it was estimated that they had lain undiscovered for between 2 and 3 weeks, a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity. The grim discovery came only after concerned neighbors raised the alarm, drawn by the fetid stench that emanated from the confines of the Ross family home. In the wake of the tragedy, Diana Ross found herself grappling with the unimaginable weight of grief, her heart rent asunder by the senseless loss of her beloved brother. In a statement issued to Jet magazine, Ross shared her profound shock and sorrow, her words a poignant echo of the pain that reverberated through the corridors of her soul. "I loved him very, very much," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion as she struggled to come to terms with the inexplicable cruelty that had robbed her of a cherished sibling. The tragic unraveling of Arthur Ross and his wife Patricia Ann Robinson Ross's lives took a chilling turn as details surrounding their deaths emerged, revealing a web of deceit and betrayal that plunged their loved ones into a maelstrom of anguish and confusion. In the aftermath of the grisly discovery of their bodies in the basement of their Detroit suburb home, the narrative took on an even more sinister hue as the spotlight turned to the individuals who had inhabited their world in the days leading up to their demise. Reports surfaced indicating that Arthur and Patricia had been renting their home to another couple whose sudden disappearance coincided eerily with the grim discovery of their lifeless bodies. The couple, identified as Ricky Vernon Brooks and his girlfriend, Regina Smith, vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and mounting suspicion. In a stunning twist, Ricky Vernon Brooks, along with his girlfriend Regina Smith and associate Ramel Levertis Howard, found themselves thrust into the spotlight of a police investigation, their names linked to a crime of unspeakable horror. While Regina Smith was deemed a witness rather than a suspect in the killings, the shadow of suspicion loomed large over Brooks and Howard, their involvement in the tragedy shrouded in ambiguity and uncertainty. As the investigation unfolded, the truth remained frustratingly elusive, obscured by a fog of conflicting accounts and unanswered inquiries. Despite the best efforts of law enforcement, the fate of Ricky Vernon Brooks and his alleged accomplices remained mired in uncertainty, leaving those touched by the tragedy to grapple with the lingering specter of justice denied. In a baffling turn of events, Ramel Levertis Howard was released from custody when Regina Smith failed to appear in court to testify, an unexpected development that further muddied the waters of an already convoluted case. The whereabouts and fate of Ricky Vernon Brooks, however, remained a tantalizing mystery, his absence casting a shadow of doubt over the pursuit of truth and accountability. The intertwined narratives of Florence Ballard and Diana Ross, two luminaries whose lives intersected amidst the tumultuous landscape of the music industry, offer a poignant reflection on the perils of fame and the fragility of the human spirit. As founding members of the iconic Supremes, they soared to the heights of superstardom, their voices echoing across the airwaves with a transcendent beauty that captivated audiences around the world. Yet, behind the glittering facade of success lay a darker reality, a world fraught with pain, trauma, and addiction. For Florence Ballard, the journey from the heights of fame to the depths of despair was marked by a harrowing descent into the abyss of alcohol addiction. Haunted by the trauma of a brutal sexual assault at knife point in 1960, Ballard grappled with demons that threatened to consume her from within. Despite the earnest pleas of her bandmates, including Mary Wilson, Ballard resisted their attempts to intervene, choosing instead to wrestle with her inner demons in solitude. Tragically, her battle with addiction would ultimately claim her life at the tender age of 32, leaving behind a legacy of unfulfilled promises and untold sorrow. In the shadow of Ballard's tragic demise, Diana Ross found herself confronting her own demons, grappling with the specter of addiction that loomed ominously on the horizon. In a startling revelation that rocked the music world to its core, Ross found herself embroiled in a public scandal when she was pulled over for drunk driving in 2002. The humiliating ordeal, punctuated by her inability to perform basic sobriety tests, led to her arrest and subsequent sentencing for an extreme DUI. Yet, amidst the glare of the media spotlight, Ross's struggles with addiction served as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that lay hidden beneath the veneer of fame and fortune. In a courageous act of self-reflection and redemption, Ross took the courageous step of checking into a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center in 2002, seeking solace and healing in the embrace of professional care. Besides, the tragic loss of Arne Nace, husband to Diana Ross for 13 years, sent shockwaves through the world, leaving behind a gaping void that could never be filled. In 2004, the world stood still as news broke of Nace's untimely demise in a mountain-climbing accident that claimed the life of the seasoned mountaineer, a man whose thirst for adventure and love for the great outdoors knew no bounds. As the details of the fateful expedition emerged, the magnitude of the tragedy became all too apparent. Nace, an experienced climber who had conquered the heights of Mount Everest and sought the thrill of scaling uncharted peaks, embarked on a solitary journey through the rugged mountains outside Cape Town, South Africa. Despite his expertise and caution, fate intervened with a cruel twist, as Ness fell to his death shortly after notifying associates of his intention to cut short his expedition due to worsening weather conditions. For Diana Ross, the news of Nace's passing reverberated with a profound sense of disbelief and grief, shattering the fragile peace of her world and leaving her heart rent asunder. Though they had parted ways 4 years prior to his death, the bond they shared remained unbroken, a testament to the enduring power of love and connection that transcended the confines of time and space. In the aftermath of Naess's funeral, Ross found herself grappling with the weight of sorrow, her soul awash in a sea of memories and regrets. In a poignant interview, she bared her heartache to the world, sharing the pain of her loss and the anguish of her sons, who struggled to come to terms with the sudden absence of their beloved father. As Ross and her sons gathered to bid their final farewells to Naess, they were greeted by a poignant symbol of hope and reassurance, a radiant rainbow that arched across the sky, casting its vibrant hues over the somber gathering below. In that fleeting moment, amidst the tears and the anguish, they found solace in the knowledge that Naess's spirit lived on in the eternal embrace of nature, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a man who had lived life to the fullest. What do you think about the tragedies that Diana Ross experienced through the words of her son? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.